This video is going to cover fixing a water leak, a drip in a Delta kitchen faucet. There's a drip about one every 5 to 6 seconds. I'm going to be using Delta part number RP4993G, which is a spring and seat kit. And this was sent to me for free by Delta because this faucet is covered by a limited lifetime warranty, which basically means as long as I own this faucet, they will send me replacement parts, but the warranty is not transferable. Now, to make this repair, I'm going to have to shut off the water to the faucet, and I could use these two valves underneath the sink, but based on past experience, that valve right there, the cold water, is very tricky. So I'm not going to touch these. I'm going to leave them alone, and I'm going to shut off the water at the meter. Before we start taking parts off of the faucet, one thing I would suggest is that you block off both drains. Any of the parts that you may drop, it keeps them from going down into the drain. Now with the water cut off, the next thing to do is to take off both of these handles. There's a set screw on each one of the handles. You can see a little hole right there in the metal. You need a small star-shaped screwdriver to get those set screws out, at least on my faucet. I wish I could tell you what size this is, but I don't know. And once you back that set screw out, you can lift the handle straight up. Same thing for the hot water side. With the handle off, the next thing we need to do is remove this locking nut that's at the base. So you can use a pair of channel lock pliers like what I have, or if you have the right size wrench, that'll work as well. Then you just lift that straight up. And now with a pair of needle nose pliers, I should be able to pull that cartridge straight up. And before I take it all the way out, make a note that the flat side on this brass is facing straight out, is facing me, so that you put it back in the right position when you reinstall it. And also watch out for this piece right here. That piece will come out, so don't lose that. The seat and spring that we are replacing are right down there. So I have a pair of needle nose pliers to grab them and pull them out. There's the rubber seat and the spring is underneath. Also notice on the spring that it's tapered. It's wider at the bottom. So when we're reinstalling the new spring, that bottom goes down first. And then the new seat is going to fit right over the spring just like that. So the spring's going to go in first with the wide part at the bottom, and now the seat fits right on top of that. Once you've got it in the right position, which I believe I do right there, you can take your finger and press straight down on it, and I can feel the spring pushing it back up. So that's in the right position. And now I can put that cartridge back in. But first, I'm going to clean all this up before I put it back together. And I got it cleaned up a little bit. Now it's time to put that cartridge back in. And remember, the flat side was facing me. Also remember this little piece that came out. That goes right back in there. And then the cartridge just goes straight back in. Now the lock nut. And now the handle. Tighten down the set screw. Alright, that's the hot water side. Now let's do the cold. I'm going to do this side, the cold side, just like I did the hot. Now the warranty that I mentioned earlier, this is the third time they've sent me replacement parts. But the first time, when it first started leaking, I knew the faucet had a lifetime warranty, so I contacted Delta. They asked me if I had a receipt, which I did not. They asked me if I had registered the faucet when I purchased it, and I had not. They asked me if I was the homeowner, which I am. They asked me how long I had lived in the house, and I told them that my wife and I purchased it in July of 1991. Not long after that, in a day or so, I got an email from them saying that they had confirmed that my wife and I did buy the house in July of 91, and they found that information by researching property tax records for the county that I live in Southeast Georgia. They literally looked me up by name and address. When I said July of 91, they found July of 91 as the purchase date for this house. So that was good enough for them, even though I didn't have a receipt and I had not registered it. They sent me those replacement parts that first time, and they've done it 2 times since. Remember that the set screw lines up with the flat side on the brass. All right, we are ready to cut the water back on. When I shut it off, there'll be a drip or two. There's one. There's 2. Dry around the handles, no leaks there. And no more drips here. Easy repair. Before you dive into this, make sure you have the right tool to loosen up the set screw. Otherwise you won't be able to get the handle off. There are probably a million videos on YouTube showing you how to do what I just did, but mine's one more. So hope it helps you out. Thanks for watching.